Hello everyone, I am Sacrobolic, your Envoy of Hope, and welcome to whatever episode of this is, WIWR. So this is a really weird one, so I'm just going to intro this out by saying that this entire episode is dedicated to the Love Live franchise and every entry in the Love Live franchise. However, if you would like to see the review of Love Live School Idol Project Season 1, it will not be in this video. It will be in the episode of Anime Dartboard, which I believe is episode 13 or episode 14, which should already have been uploaded on the channel, and you should be available to watch now. So if you want to see my review of Season 1, watch that. Then you can pick up with this video. Love Live School Idol Project second season takes place after the first season. I'm not sure how much time passes, but Honoka is now the student council president somehow. Not the best choice, but she grows into the role as she has this nice little arc about learning to be responsible over the course of the season. And they announce a second Love Live competition, and this time the girls of Muse are gonna get in there. Only problem is that there's regional qualifiers, and they're in the same region as the best idols in the country, Arise. Oh shit. This season has the declaration of war between Muse and Arise. We get to see why Arise are the best in the country, and honestly, they put on we only see one of their songs, and it is possibly the best song in the whole season. It's up there. It's really top tier. They are good. They make it very clear that they're not just saying they're good. They are actually good. The mid part of the season can get a little slow, but we do get some much needed development and establishment for some of the characters, like Nozomi and Nico and stuff, and Rin. I do feel like I don't have a full grasp on all of the Muse girls still. I still think 9 characters is a bit too much to manage and too much to track. By the end, you know enough about the characters to feel that they're all distinct enough characters, and you know about them, but I don't feel like we understand what makes them all tick, necessarily. I don't, they're all different, but I don't think that there's enough time spent with any of the characters, just because I don't think there was enough episodes dedicated. I would have liked 2, maybe 3 episodes dedicated to all of the girls for a 9-girl main cast. That's a lot. It's a lot to establish, and I feel like they end up feeling a little shallow. The songs are bangers. Very good usage of background music, even when we're not inside of actual idol concerts. It's just a really good season all around. We got some good tension in there, some really heartwarming scenes with the students clearing the snow paths to help them get to the competition. That was really touching. I'm not gonna lie. Maybe it was just because I got out of the hospital. I'm on a bunch of medication. I shed a tear in that concert. Right there in the snowy concert. I shed a tear. It was fucking brilliant. I enjoyed it. Season 2, pretty fucking good. And I also like that they kind of there's this emphasis on finality to it, and it gives this sort of satisfying conclusion that you just really do not see very often in most anime. Love Live School Idol Project OVA is, I'm not sure when it takes place, probably sometime after the first season. It is about it's about a horror dream that Maki's having, kind of, where she's a little girl in the school, and she's kind of haunting the school, and the other girls are also in the dream. It's not clear what's going on. And the other girls are also in the dream, and they're getting spooked by Ghost Maki. It might not be Maki that's in the dream. It might be, it could be Eri, it could be Kotori. It's not clear who's having the dream. I think it's probably Maki. And then at the end, she is about to tell the girls that she loves them, but then doesn't, because she ends up in full body Maki form, but it's interesting. It gets to show you the really rare Dere side to Maki's usual Soon side. So I guess that's nice. I think the best part of it is the song Music Start, which plays at the end in its entirety. But yeah, it's whatever. Love Live, the school idol movie, isn't particularly entertaining outside of a few catchy songs. but it is probably the smartest movie about idols I have ever seen. It is about Muse directly following the end of season 2, right after they had supposedly broken up, discovering that there is an attempt to get a third Love Live competition going. And in order to gain up enough interest and popularity for it, the Love Live competition wants to get the best school idols in Japan, Arise and Muse, to sort of put on concerts to, kind of drum up interest. And because of that, Muse is sent to New York City to perform a concert in America. You get to see the girls fuck around in America. And while they're in New York, they're kind of pressured by their fans to sort of keep going, even though at the end of season 2, they were supposed to break up. Everyone is trying to tell them, Muse, you've got to keep going. You've got to keep being idols. And so there's this like question about, do they give the fans what they want, or do they, compromise their artistic integrity, or do they stick to their guns and end things on their own terms? And that perfectly mirrors both this movie and the anime at this point, which is to say that this movie has no reason to exist other than to give the fans what they want. The story of Muse was told at the end of season 2, and they'll never really be able to reclaim the emotional gut punch that the season 2 finale had. So do they keep going with the anime and, keep bringing out Muse? Or do they end it here where they should, stick to their guns and artistic integrity in that regard? And the answer that the movie comes to is the answer that the girls come to. They decide that they are done and that the story of Muse is told. But what they do is that they organize a large-scale concert with almost all of the school idols in Japan, possibly all of them, it's not clear, to, be a sort of, a farewell to Muse itself, but also as sort of a torch passing to the next generation to say, Muse might be done, but Love Live, the competition, and an extension, the anime, is not done. And that even if the story of Muse has been told, there will be more, Love Live and school idols in the future. And I think this is well executed at the very end, where we see the main character's younger sisters, now aged up like a year or two, addressing a new generation of school idols, talking about the story of Muse, and, saying that for the next Love Live, they're going to raise a group of school idols that are worthy to carry on the legacy that was Muse. Essentially telling the audience that although Muse is done, the next Love Live, the next group of idols, will live up to Muse's legacy. Love Live Sunshine takes place in a small rural town with a new set of girls disconnected from Muse entirely, who are, funny enough, also trying to save their school, but they don't care about it to the same level that most of the Muse girls did, where, it's a funny little subversion, because, when it comes up for Muse, almost all of them are, really dedicated to the cause, but when Aqua, who is this group, comes up, they're it's like half of them are like, oh, sweet, our school's getting destroyed. And there's a lot of interesting sort of subversions like that. There's sort of echoes between Muse's situation and Aqua's situation. Like when the rival group Saint Snow calls them out to a sort of sit-in diner, the whole thing is kind of framed similar to Arise's declaration of war on Muse, but they just don't declare war on each other. And there's a lot of interesting callbacks like that. And it kind of really ties into a major point about Sunshine, which is that the whole entirety of Sunshine is sort of about a group of girls who looked up to Muse and they want to be exactly like Muse. And they spend the whole season basically living in Muse's shadow, both narratively and the Sunshine living in School Idol Project's shadow. And they put all of this time and effort, and they're like, well, how do we be like Muse? And it comes to, the correct conclusion that they just can't be like Muse. There's no use trying. They have to be their own thing. And I did appreciate that. And it also kind of ties into the season's like overarching theme of failure, but moving on from failure. Like some of the former members of the group are sort of failed idols in their own rights. They put in the effort, but they don't get the results from it. And at one point they go to a competition and they get 0 votes in their entire favor. And it's just like this huge devastating blow. And so the whole season is sort of about like learning to become their own thing and not necessarily completely mimic their idols, just use them as inspiration, while also simultaneously overcoming failures and learning to move on. It's really interesting. It's definitely not as good as some of the early Love Live seasons. Love Live Sunshine second season probably takes less of a focus on the Love Live competition itself and puts a really heavy emphasis on the interaction between the girls themselves and also some of the supporting cast. There is a focus on whether their school will actually close or not, and they managed to go a pretty interesting direction with that. But they definitely spend a lot of time developing the relationships between the girls themselves, kind of in ways that even the original cast necessarily didn't. A lot of the original cast already kind of knew each other, whereas we get to see like actual friendships sort of blossom and more develop between the girls themselves. We even get to see a little bit of like blossoming in interaction between them and Saint Snow as well. It's definitely more of a personal story, Sunshine, and I think it kind of ties in with the themes of Sunshine of finding your radiance. It's a good season. It's solidly entertaining. Some good songs in it. Love Live Sunshine, the school idol movie Over the Rainbow, is all about the remaining members of Aqua just trying to like get their groove back and understand what they're going to do in the group, like what they're going to do with the group now that the seniors have left. Unlike Muse, they decide not to end their group, so they kind of have to decide like, who are they now that there's just 6 of them? I was pleasantly surprised to see that they managed to actually like finish the arc of the girls in Saint Snow. It was actually genuinely surprising. They definitely put a lot more attention on the side characters and developing the characters. Sunshine as a whole and this movie is definitely more focused on the sort of like the individual and the group and telling personal stories rather than the more grand sports narratives of the original. They go to Italy in this one, so I'm beginning to see a theme of the Love Live movies taking some random trip to a foreign country. This one is Italy, which I guess is set up because Mari does speak Italian, I think. She also gets engaged because her mom tries to arrange a marriage, and then they get out of that. They do that old chestnut. It's enjoyable enough. What I have to say is that I think it was punctuated very well with the musical performances at the end, with the Saint Snow performance, which is fucking killer choreography on that one, and the final song of Aqua is like really heartfelt and really well done. Like you feel that shit in your soul. Good movie, more entertaining than the original School Idol Project movie. Nowhere near as well written. In fact, I would say Over the Rainbow is a fucking mess narratively, but it's still a fun time. Love Live Nijigasaki High School Idol Club is a really weird one as far as Love Live goes. and it is also the final season of Love Live that is out so far. Season 2 has been confirmed, and also at some point, Love Live Superstar is coming out. I don't know if that's this year or next year, and I don't know whether season 2 of Nijigasaki is coming out this year or next year. But yeah, they seem to have just forgone the idea of attending the Love Live competition in general. Like at one point, one of the characters says oh, you don't even need to go to the Love Live competition. And instead of becoming a cohesive group like Muse or Aqua, the Nijigasaki girls are all individual solo idols. So it's not they mentioned that they're rivals, but I'm not sure if they're if you can go to Love Live as a solo idol, it's literally never been done. It's never come up. Even the most we've seen a Love Live competition is 2 people, I think. So I'm not sure how this is going to go. I don't know in season 2 if they're going to Love Live, if Love Live is just sort of grandfathered in as part of the title because it's part of the same meta franchise, or if they're going to attend it. I don't know if they're going to form a group. They do a singular group song right at the end, so I don't know if that's a direction they're going with. So many questions I have about this show come from the fact that this is season 1 and not season 2, and I don't have a way to ground myself with this like I do in the other season. I'm just dangling here naked at the end. So yeah, they're solo idols, and it doesn't even seem like their goal is Love Live. The Nijigasaki high school is super wealthy. Their campus could eat Aqua and Muse's campuses and still have extra room. It's so big that it's the kind of school that would fucking put Arise's school to shame. And Arise had a fucking cafe in the middle of their fucking school. It is bonkers. It is this massive megaplex building with entire buildings dedicated to club activities. No danger of Nijigasaki going out of business. It starts off with the main girls, 2 of them, because it's really hard to tell who the main character of this was. At first, I thought it was the orange-haired girl, because it's always the orange-haired girl. But then I found out it's probably the black-haired girl with the green tips, but she doesn't try to become a school idol. So they always, a big thing about Muse was that no one was the center, whereas Aqua didn't pretend that there was clearly a main character. In this one, though, I think they get closer than any other Love Live series to actually not having a main character. It could be Ayamu, or it could be you, or it could be Setsuna even. It's fucking weird. This is just a weird season. It's really hard to get a grasp on it. There may genuinely just not be a main character. And because they don't form a cohesive group, every character gets their own individual episodes, which is something I have wanted the entire time, but still there's just not enough time given to each individual character, so you still don't get a full grasp of them. This is why I've said since Love Live Season 1 that 13 episodes isn't enough. It needs to be 26. I hope Superstar is 26 episodes, because it always feels like Love Live is grasping for breath with just the short seasons. You never get there's too many characters and you never get a full grasp of all the characters. But yeah, they found the idol club, and I'll say that there's 2 main characters. One of the other main characters is just not an idol at all. She almost takes a managerial position, which I think is kind of interesting. And they do something interesting with that, where it almost seems like she's going to become a school idol. And then the other main character goes on this really interesting selfish streak where she's shine blocking her, and she's I don't want to hear what your plans are. I want you to be only mine. And I'm ooh, they're going a spicy direction with this. Ooh. So there's some interesting little drama with that. Another majorly important character is Setsuna Yuki, who I felt was going to be the breakout star, banger character on this one. But then I feel they kind of went a disappointing direction with her, because they have the classic student council president is an idol, but as it turns out, Setsuna was already an idol, and she was a pretty popular idol, and she wanted to quit. And so she has these 2 really strong character designs, her Setsuna form, and then I don't remember the character's real name, to be honest. Like Student Council President, which is like these like braids and the glasses, two very strong designs. And it's like a switch flips in her around like episode 3, where she just goes into Setsuna mode. And I'm like, oh, this is cool. Are they going to do kind of like a Yohane thing where like sometimes she's in idol mode and sometimes she's in Student Council President mode? And the answer is kind of, but not really. Because once it starts focusing heavily on the idol stuff and not really the reestablishing the idol club, and getting Setsu to come back, she just kind of stays in Setsuna mode, and I actually kind of find that disappointing. I'd love to see more of this like dual aspect of her personality. The characters, I was gonna say early on that it kind of feels like they focus more on like creating a hybrid between absolute freaky anime characters like Sunshine had and more grounded real people like School Idol Project, but they all turn out pretty over-the-top anime by the end of it once you get to know all of them. But there's also some interesting, like, character drama. I don't want to say it's interpersonal because it's not. It's, like, personal dramas and hang-ups that the girls have that they do explore, but I still feel like there's not enough time invested in them. It's interesting. It does a lot of interesting things. It has a lot of interesting ideas, and I'm interested to see where it's going. But overall, I feel like it's really held back by some of its delivery, and it always feels like it's working up to something, but by the end of the 13 episodes, unlike in all previous seasons, I don't feel like we got anywhere or learned anything. I felt like we were just now starting our journey, so that kind of leaves you with a sort of incomplete feeling with it. So really looking forward to seeing where it's going, but I need more of it in order to fully evaluate Nijigasaki. So far, probably my least favorite total season, but I'm definitely still on board for season 2. Hopefully everyone had fun. If you want more of me, you should come check out my Twitch channel, which I stream at least once a week, usually unless my failing health problems take me down. This is a relatively weird video of mine, because this is the first time in WIWR history, since even back in the Wadawa days, where I intentionally altered the order in which I have presented to you the shows, because I've watched shows before Love Live that did not appear in this episode. And it's the first time I've kind of arranged the presentation of shows to create a more cohesive, entertaining product. I will probably keep doing this in the future, just because I think it'll probably make for more entertaining content. Like, we could have, like, the Love Live dump, and then, like, let's not pretend I didn't watch some stuff before Love Live, and I'm gonna watch some stuff afterward. So I'll probably keep doing this, because I think it turned out well to create, like, a single video block like this. But yeah, check me out on Twitch. I believe the link is always in the description. Next up on the Twitch channel will be God of War 2, and God of War 3, which we might have already finished at least one or two of those by the time this video goes live. I don't know when this video is going live. I'm filming this like a week or so in advance. Then viewer request by Shoujo Senshi Sailor Moon Another Story for the SNES, and Persona 2 Eternal Punishment. And then a viewer request Undertale, Pokemon X, Digimon World Next Order. We always play through all of the games all the way through, and by the time we're finished with all of that, I'm sure I'll already have released my next episode, because I'm going to let you on a secret, it's like half done already. But anyway, hopefully you had fun. I've been Sacrobolic, your Envoy of Hope, and I will see you next time. Bye-bye.